Money laundering. It's a term that might sound almost clinical, doesn't it? But don't be fooled by its seemingly sterile name. It conjures images of a process designed to remove stains from cash, as if it were just another household chore. But the reality is far dirtier and more complex than simply scrubbing away the grime. Behind the scenes, it's a sophisticated and often dangerous game. Money laundering is the intricate process criminals use to disguise the illegal origins of their wealth, making it appear legitimate and untraceable. This isn't just about hiding money, it's about creating a complex web of transactions. Whether it's drug trafficking, extortion, or even terrorism, the motive remains the same: to turn dirty money clean. The stakes are incredibly high. Imagine a vast criminal enterprise raking in millions from illicit activities. This isn't small-time crime. We're talking about operations that span continents. This cash is hot, dangerous to possess, let alone spend openly. It needs to be cleaned before it can be used. It carries the stench of its origins, attracting unwanted attention from law enforcement. The risk of getting caught is always looming. This is where money laundering comes in, acting as a sophisticated washing machine for dirty money. The goal? To make it look like it came from a legitimate source, to transform ill-gotten gains into assets that can be used freely without raising suspicion. This process involves multiple steps and often spans several countries. Think luxury cars, real estate, legitimate businesses, all purchased with money that appears to come from legal sources. These assets then become part of the legitimate economy. Money laundering allows criminals to enjoy their profits without jeopardizing their freedom. And in doing so, it fuels further criminal activity and undermines the global financial system. It's a vicious cycle that continues to grow, affecting economies and societies worldwide. Why bother with this elaborate charade? Why go through the trouble of creating a complex web of deceit? Why not just spend the cash directly? It seems so much simpler, right? Criminals have a significant problem. Their wealth is directly linked to illegal activities. This connection makes it dangerous to use the money openly. Spending large sums of cash raises red flags. Banks and financial institutions are trained to spot unusual transactions. Try buying a house or a luxury car with suitcases full of bills, and you're sure to attract unwanted attention. Such actions are bound to raise suspicions. Law enforcement agencies are constantly on the lookout for suspicious financial activity. They have sophisticated tools and methods to track illicit funds. Large cash deposits, especially those inconsistent with someone's known income, immediately raise eyebrows. Financial institutions are required to report such activities. Criminals need to distance their money from its source, to create a believable narrative of how it was earned. This is where money laundering comes into play. Money laundering provides that crucial layer of protection. It disguises the origins of the money, making it appear legitimate. By cleaning their money, criminals can integrate it into the legal economy, making it virtually indistinguishable from legitimately earned funds. This allows them to operate under the radar. This allows them to enjoy their ill-gotten gains without fear of detection, living a life of luxury and comfort. They can invest in further criminal enterprises, expanding their operations and influence, and even use their wealth to corrupt legitimate businesses and institutions. This cycle of corruption and crime continues, fueled by the ability to hide the origins of their wealth. The first hurdle for any criminal looking to launder money is getting it into the financial system. This initial step, known as placement, is often the riskiest, as it involves physically injecting large amounts of cash into the legitimate economy. One common method is called smurfing, where criminals break down large sums of cash into smaller deposits, often below the reporting thresholds that would trigger scrutiny from banks. These deposits are spread out across multiple accounts, sometimes using individuals known as smurfs who are unaware of the money's true origins. Another tactic is to use cash-intensive businesses as a front. Restaurants, bars, and other businesses that handle large amounts of cash on a daily basis can be used to deposit illicit funds, making them appear as legitimate business income. The money is then mixed with legitimate revenue, further obscuring its origins. Section 4, Stage 2 Layering, obscuring the money trail. Once the money is in the system, the next step is to make it disappear. This is where layering comes in. a complex web of transactions designed to obscure the money trail and make it nearly impossible to trace back to its criminal source. This might involve transferring funds through multiple shell companies, often registered in offshore tax havens with strict secrecy laws. These companies exist solely on paper, with no real business operations, making it difficult for investigators to unravel the true ownership and purpose of the funds. Another common layering technique is to use the money to purchase assets like real estate, luxury goods, or even investments. These assets can then be resold or transferred, further muddying the waters and making it even more challenging to follow the money trail. Section 5, Stage 3 Integration. Clean money returns. The final stage of money laundering is integration, where the now clean money is reintroduced into the legitimate economy, often disguised as legitimate income. This stage is crucial because it allows criminals to enjoy their illicit gains without raising suspicion. At this point, the money has been thoroughly cleaned and criminals can spend it freely without fear of detection. They can now use the funds for everyday expenses, investments, or even to further their criminal enterprises. One common integration method is to use the laundered funds to invest in legitimate businesses. By doing so, they can blend their dirty money with clean money, making it even harder to trace. This allows criminals to inject their dirty money into the legal economy while generating a seemingly legitimate income stream. These businesses can range from restaurants and retail stores to real estate and financial services. The profits from the business can then be used for personal expenses, reinvestment, or even further money laundering activities. This creates a cycle where dirty money is continuously cleaned and reintegrated. Another approach is to use the laundered funds to purchase luxury assets like homes, yachts, or art collections. These high-value items not only serve as status symbols but also as a means to store and grow wealth. These assets not only provide a convenient way to store wealth but can also appreciate in value over time, further increasing the criminal's profits. The appreciation of these assets can be substantial, making them a lucrative option for money launderers. And because these purchases are made with seemingly legitimate funds, they raise no red flags with law enforcement. This makes it incredibly difficult for authorities to track the origins of the money, allowing criminals to continue their activities with minimal risk.